My name's Brett Pringle. I own Pringle Construction out of Brandon, Manitoba. And we're a full service remodeling contractor. Our 3 to 5 year goal is to be a home builder and large scale remodeler in our area. I've been humming and hawing about making this video just because I know it's gonna kind of tick off a lot of other contractors or carpenters, but I think it's relevant and should be talked about. I don't think that carpenters are necessarily carpenters anymore. Most of them are so specialized to the point that they're more of an installer with a carpentry red seal. I mean, how many carpenters do you know that can shingle your house and then pour your driveway and then install your kitchen cabinets or build your kitchen cabinets for that matter? I would argue that it's less than 1% of red seal carpenters can actually execute the entirety of the trade to a professional standard in a professional setting. I'm not talking about, DIYing a home renovation project on your personal home, chipping away at it, and then, it's good enough for me at my house. I'm talking about for a client, at a pace of reasonable productivity. I would say it's less than 1% that can actually perform the entire trade. And it didn't used to be like this. If you called your electrician and said, "Hey, I need a quote on getting some plugs installed in my house," and he replied to you with, "Oh, I don't do plugs. I'm a lighting electrician. I'm the best lighting electrician in the area. You need to call so-and-so. He does plugs. He's really good at it." I mean, that's just a ridiculous conversation to have, right? But carpentry has literally become that, where carpenters don't do the entirety of the trade. They're specialized, and everyone just kind of agrees with it and goes along with it. I don't. I mean, a single family home now requires 20 to 30 tradespeople spread across a dozen different companies and a dedicated project management company to facilitate the whole process. Whereas, I'm pretty confident 4 well-rounded carpenters, a plumber, and an electrician could build a house. And you can argue, it's so much more efficient now. Is it? I don't feel like houses go up that efficiently. It's certainly not, much more efficient than they did 50 years ago. And it's no wonder we have a housing shortage and a labor shortage when we're spreading our carpentry labor thin across, these dozen different sub-trades that are actually just subsets of the carpentry trade. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Well, it does. I believe that this model only actually benefits the business owner. I used to do sub work for a builder around here, and just talking with one of the project managers at that business, we were talking about hiring, and the person said, "Oh yeah, it's tough. It takes 6 months to train someone." And I didn't really think about it at the time until recently, and it's kind of sad because a carpentry apprenticeship takes 4 years. And when your employer is only investing a few months in you, what are you really learning? And then at the end of that, big push of training, they're just saying, "Okay, go be efficient. We're gonna start pumping work through you now." And that's your apprenticeship. The rest is on you. And it shouldn't be that way. If you're signing on to take someone under your wing for an apprenticeship, that's a 4-year commitment you're making to that person. And that's just, that's not what my business is going to be modeled like. It is harder to scale. your business. I mean, that's the whole point of niching down. You know, these businesses, they can scale very quickly if you're only training someone to be an interior finisher or an exterior finisher or a concrete, you know, installer. It's not really the correct term, but whatever. It takes a lot longer to train someone to the entirety of the trade, but I think it's better for everyone. It's better for me as the business owner. I get to keep all of the carpentry hours in my business and charge a profit on that. It's better for the apprentice. Obviously, they're learning the entire trade and broadening their future career, you know, aspirations. If they want to go to a different company, they're not limited by what they've been doing for their apprenticeship. They actually know the trade in its entirety. And I believe it's also best for the client. You know, hiring a contractor that keeps all their labor in-house is more of a one-stop shop. There isn't dozens of moving parts. Also, I can be more competitive on pricing if I'm making, you know, I can charge a smaller markup on material. If I'm, you know, if they're buying in bulk my labor, essentially, I can charge less on management compared to these other project management companies that in reality are taking between 10 to 20% of the project budget to manage. It just is what it is. And I just want to finish with, I'm not trying to, you know, point the finger at anyone or kick dirt on anyone. If you're a business owner or an apprentice or a red seal and you've found what you like and, you know, you don't have any, you know, you don't want to know how to do concrete or do that work, or, you know, you love doing finishing work and that's all you want to do, great for you. That's totally fine. These are just my opinions, and this is the direction that I'm going to be taking my business in. I think that it's better for the trade and the industry as a whole when, you know, the general contractor supplies their own labor and is actually, you know, nurturing their apprentices towards being carpenters and not installers. Just my opinion. You don't have to, you know, take it. You can throw it right back at me. That's fine. But it's mine to have.